In today's digital age, one viral accusation can dismantle a legacy built over decades. We live in an era where courtrooms have been replaced by comment sections, and the sentence is often career-ending. From hip-hop royalty to production pioneers, no one is immune. Jay-Z, Metro Boomin, Takeoff, their names became hashtags. Their lives turned into public spectacles. Yet, in case after case, the sensational allegations crumbled under legal scrutiny. The viral narratives collapsed when confronted with actual evidence. This isn't just about legal battles. It's about cultural warfare in hip-hop, where authenticity is currency. False accusations don't damage reputations. They attempt to rewrite legacies. These artists faced the ultimate test, maintaining their dignity while the world watched their character being assassinated in real time. Every retweet amplifies the lie. Every reaction video monetizes the pain. Every think piece extends the sentence. In our rush to be part of the conversation, we have forgotten there are human beings behind the headlines. The human cost remains invisible to the algorithm. The sleepless nights, the strained relationships, the private battles, these never trend. In hip-hop, reputation isn't just image, it's identity. When you attack an artist's character, you are not just threatening their career, you are assaulting their life's work. Yet, through the fire, truth prevails. These artists didn't just survive these allegations, they emerged stronger. Their artistry undiminished, their influence expanded. When the headlines hit, it felt like deja vu. Yet another hip-hop titan, another scandal. But this time, the name attached to the accusation wasn't just big. Yo, before we dive in, grab yourself something to sip on or a little snack. This one's gonna be wild. Get comfy. We are about to break this down properly. Jay-Z, the man who built Roc Nation, who turned rap into real estate, luxury, and legacy, and suddenly he was there caught up in one of the wildest lawsuits of the decade. In late 2024, a mysterious civil suit landed like a bombshell, filed by an anonymous woman known only as Jane Doe and represented by none other than celebrity attorney Tony Busby. The claim? She was accusing Jay-Z and Diddy of sexual assault dating back to the year 2000, when she said she was just 13 years old. The rumor mill didn't just turn, it went into overdrive. Blogs, tweets, TikTok deep dives, everyone had an opinion before the facts even saw daylight. But Jay-Z's team didn't play the waiting game. They came out swinging hard. They called the allegations frivolous, fictitious, and appalling. No soft words, no quiet settlements, just a full-throated public denial. They demanded proof, and when Busby sent mediation demands in December 2024, Jay-Z's legal team refused to even sit down. Then things escalated. Busby sent not one but two defamation letters, threatening to file suit if Jay-Z didn't mediate. But Jay-Z lawyers fired back, calling it what it was, an attempt at blackmail, extortion, and defamation. So Jay-Z did what few artists have the power or courage to do. He countersued, but it didn't stop there. Jay-Z's team dropped another bombshell. They accused Busby of directing employees to edit Wikipedia pages to boost his own image while smearing Jay-Z and Roc Nation. The stakes? Huge. Jay-Z claimed losses in hundreds of millions, contracts frozen, credit lines pulled, business deals collapsed. This wasn't just about reputation, it was about real financial wreckage. On February 14th, 2025, Jane Doe's original suit was dropped with prejudice, meaning it can't ever be refiled. No settlement, no apology, just gone. Judge Mark H. Epstein heard Jay-Z's defamation and extortion lawsuit and delivered a blow, applying California's anti-SLAPP statute. He dismissed the case. He ruled that Busby's demand letters and public statements were protected by legal privilege. There wasn't enough evidence of actual malice. In short, the court said Busby's moves were part of legal strategy, not criminal extortion. Busby celebrated immediately and said he would seek attorney's fees for what he called a meritless case. Today, the legal theater is over. The lawsuits have quieted, but the echo remains. The narrative outlived the case and the accusation went viral. The truth arrived quietly, and in the court of public opinion, the gavel never really falls. If you don't know about Tony Busby, let's just say he's not your average lawyer. He is Texas famous, bold, loud, and loves the spotlight. We are talking about Ferraris, private jets, Instagram posts with designer suits. In short, he is the type of lawyer who treats the courtroom like a runway. Busby had made headlines before for representing the alleged victims of Deshaun Watson during his highly publicized case. But when his name appeared beside Jay-Z's, things took a strange twist. Because this wasn't just one lawsuit. It became a tangled web of counterclaims, accusations, and power plays. See, Busby wasn't just representing the woman accusing Jay-Z. He also turned around and filed his own lawsuit, claiming Roc Nation and Jay-Z's lawyers were trying to sabotage him. According to Busby, mysterious people started contacting his clients, pretending to be investigators, even flashing fake badges and offering bribes to turn on him. It was starting to sound less like a lawsuit and more like an episode of Power. Busby claimed he was being targeted by Jay-Z's cycle to silence him. But Roc Nation's response? A hard and fast denial. Their lawyers call his claims, I quote, pure fiction, saying it was a desperate attempt for attention and headlines. Behind the scenes, Jay-Z's legal team was already moving with precision. They filed motions, they pulled evidence, and before long, the case started to collapse. The woman behind the accusations quietly withdrew her lawsuit with prejudice, meaning it could never be refiled again. In legal terms, that's as close as it gets to saying this was made up. But here's the catch. While everyone saw the headlines about the accusations, barely anyone saw the correction. When the case fell apart, the news cycle had already moved on. No flashy TMZ updates. There was no trending tag saying that Jay-Z has been cleared. No, there was nothing. Just silence. And that's the danger of fame in the digital age. One false headline can travel across the world before the truth even gets to breathe. For Jay-Z, it wasn't about clearing his name. It was about how fast a lie can travel when your name itself is global currency. After the case was dropped, Jay-Z's lawyers didn't just walk away. They struck back, filing their own legal action against the accuser and her team for defamation and malicious prosecution. They wanted accountability. They wanted the world to know that even billionaires can be targets of falsehoods designed for clout, clicks, and chaos. Because when your name is Jay-Z, it's not just a brand, it's a target. And for some people, accusing you is the fastest way to get attention. Still, not everyone bought the official narrative. Some online voices argued that Busby was being silenced by power and influence. Others said that the entire thing was a play for fame, using Jay-Z's name to chase viral headlines. Either way, the whole situation exposed a dark truth about how modern scandals work. In today's culture, accusation equals conviction. The internet doesn't wait for a court date, it just picks a side, drops a hashtag and moves on. But those scars, they stay. Just when you thought the beat couldn't drop any harder, reality hit. While Metro Boomin was crafting the soundtrack for a generation, someone else was writing a different kind of story about him. One that would threaten to silence his music forever. They came for his legacy, they came for his name, but they underestimated one thing: the power of silence in a world addicted to noise. It started with whispers. Last October, a lawsuit landed, filed by a woman named Vanessa Lemestre, claiming that back in 2016, Metro assaulted her in a Beverly Hills hotel room. She said she had been given a shot of liquor, half a Xanax bar, and then she fainted. She claimed she woke up to Metro committing the act. Scary stuff. Headlines hit up like wildfire, man. TMZ, gossip blogs, social media, everyone stalked the flames. But here is where things got messy. The lawsuit claimed more than just assault. It alleged pregnancy, abortion, and even taunted lyrics. Lines in Metro song Rap Saved Me, with collaborators being 21 Savage, Quavo, and Offset, who are also being named as evidence. Lyrics like, I caught, she took a Xanny, then she fainted, and she drive me crazy were held up like receipts. Immediately, the internet erupted. People took sides. Some posted, I believe her. Others said, this gotta be fake. Clips went viral. Reaction videos, podcast deep dives, conspiracy threads. But in the noise, there was zero official record of arrest. No police report, no medical evidence, nothing publicly verifiable. Meanwhile, Metro did what few people expect him to do. He stayed silent. No rush to issue statements, no social media rants, no immediate PR blitz. In a world where silence often reads as guilt, he opted out of spotlight. For days, his name trended for lies. People speculated what he was hiding. But the quiet wasn't weakness, it was strategy. Let the facts surface. Let the legal process unfold. Let the smoke clear. And unfold it did. After a legal battle, a jury in Los Angeles found Metro Boomin not liable on all 4 counts of rape and sexual assault, meaning the court concluded there was not enough proof to hold him legally responsible. He responded with relief and measured words. I quote, I'm grateful and thankful to God that I can finally put all of this nonsense behind me. Never in a million years would I have thought I could be accused of such disgusting and heinous act. The trauma my family and I have endured, the losses I stacked up, clearing my name cost more than the headline ever suggested.
How are you feeling?
Blessed, I'm relieved.
What was it like to be on that stand?
I never thought I'd ever have to do anything like that. It's just relief, man. It's a burden lifted off my back, you know. Just get back to my family and continue to do the great things that I strive to do.
Thank you.
But yeah, he called out the accuser and her lawyers, saying they dragged his name through the mud, cost him reputation, time, money, and mental peace. Now, the truth had won legally. But the damage from the viral rumor didn't just vanish. That's the thing about high-profile fake claims. They leave a shadow. Even cleared, people walk away, changed. In a digital culture starving for outrage, the loudest voice wins, and often it isn't the truth. Metro Boomin's name trended wild for days, months, nearly years. But the court verdict? That barely rippled through the noise. He went on rebuilding and returning to studio, letting fans see the real him, not the rumor. Metro Boomin didn't just survive the storm, he outlasted it. The lawsuit was filed, the headlines screamed, and the internet judged. And yet, when the gavel dropped, he stood not liable. He reminded us that in hip-hop, a rumor can travel faster than the truth. But clarity, when it comes, still has weight. You know how they say, the quiet ones are the ones you least expect. Well, in 2020, that phrase took a dark turn when Takeoff, the calm, reserved, never in drama Migo suddenly became the headline nobody saw coming. It started like any other rumor. One random day, the internet woke up to Takeoff from Migos is being accused of sexual assault. The blogs went crazy. Twitter exploded, and TMZ had their headline before most people even had breakfast. But here is what's wild. This wasn't some long investigation or hidden scandal. Nah, the story popped up almost out of nowhere. A woman came forward saying the rapper assaulted her at a party in Los Angeles. Immediately, the media circus began. As I mentioned before, even for the Jay-Z case, every outlet wanted a piece of the story. And remember, this was Takeoff, the one who barely spoke in interviews and rarely went live, never clowned around for cameras. He was the chill Migo, the one who rather rap in the booth, but in an instant, all that quiet energy became suspicious silence to the gossip world. People started saying, I quote, "Why isn't he talking? Why hasn't he denied anything?" As if being silent or not saying anything meant being guilty. But those who actually follow Takeoff knew he was always like that. The man didn't do chaos, he did verses. The story started spreading faster than the facts could catch up. Before any official evidence, before any police confirmation, before anything real, the internet had already convicted him. A few weeks later, Takeoff finally broke his silence, through his legal team, of course. They said the claims were patently and provably false. And then, little by little, the truth started peeling through the noise. Turns out, there was no solid evidence, no witnesses that backed the claim, no follow-up record that made sense. Just one person's story magnified by millions of retweets. By April 2021, prosecutors quietly dropped the case. No evidence, no trial, no conviction, just a rumor that burned hot and died out cold. But here's the thing about gossip. Once it's out there, it doesn't just disappear. Even though Takeoff was cleared, the stain of that headline lingered. Blogs didn't post retractions as loudly as they posted the accusation. And for a guy like Takeoff, who lived most of his career in the background, this hit deep, really deep. Those close to him said he became even more private after that. He just wanted peace, his music, and the people who believed in him. Fans remember Takeoff wasn't about the flash, he was about bars. When the noise faded, he got back in the studio working like nothing happened. And even though he didn't say much publicly about the whole mess, his next songs spoke volumes. Quiet confidence, heavy emotion, and realness that hit harder after what he went through. And then in 2022, tragedy struck. Takeoff, the calmest in the storm, the one who never chased drama, was gone. The same internet that once spread rumors was now mourning. The same voices that doubted him were suddenly saying he was the most underrated. But even after his passing, that 2020 moment still stands as a reminder of how fragile a reputation can be in the age of viral gossip. One tweet, one accusation, and suddenly years of work, respect, and peace can feel like it's slipping away. For Takeoff, the rumor didn't define him. His music did. His calmness, his humility, his quiet genius still echo louder than the noise that tried to bury him. Because while some rappers chase clout, Takeoff left something pure behind. Truth through art. And maybe that's why fans still say, even in silence, he spoke the loudest. At this point, I think you have started to notice a pattern. Every time a big name rapper gets accused of something, before even a lawyer takes a breath, before a court date even drops, the internet has already decided the verdict. It's like the new courtroom has Wi-Fi and hashtags instead of a jury. In hip-hop, it's no longer innocent until proven guilty. It's guilty until proven boring. Because, let's be honest, innocence doesn't trend. Drama does. Look at how fast the story moves. One accusation drops, and suddenly blogs go into full detective mode. TikTokers start connecting dots, and fans start pulling up old interviews for signs. It's like people forget there is a human behind the headlines. And when it comes to rappers, especially black men in hip-hop, that rush to judgment hits harder. Every mistake, every rumor, every tweet from 5 years ago becomes a weapon. Jay-Z, Metro Booming, Takeoff, we have seen how fast lies can fly when your name means clicks. But they are far from the only ones who have been through it. let's talk about Nelly. Remember in 2017 when he was accused of assault on his tour bus? It was headline gold for Gossip blog. Everyone ran with it. You could read rapper arrested for assault. Another one you could see Nelly's career in trouble. But months later, the woman dropped the charges. No evidence, no case, no conviction. Just gone. Did those outlets that drag his name for clicks post about his innocence? Barely. Maybe one tweet, maybe two. And just like that, the damage was done. Then there was Snoop Dogg. Yep, even the legend himself wasn't safe. Around 2022, a woman filed a suit claiming misconduct. The internet instantly split. Half of fans defending him, half believing the worst. But when Snoop's team pulled out receipts showing it was all part of extortion attempt, the story vanished quicker than it appeared. But again, no trending hashtags saying, sorry Snoop, just plain silence. And Trey Songz, man, man, his name been in headlines more than music lately. But here is what is crazy. Several of those claims withdrawn, dismissed, some proven false, yet the stigma still lingers because that's the real price. The damage doesn't go away even when the accusation does. This is the dark side of hip-hop fame. When your name carries weight, your silence becomes suspicious and your truth becomes optional. The public doesn't wait for proof, they build their own story. And the sad part, it doesn't even take evidence anymore. Just one screenshot, one post, one tearful TikTok, and your career is on the line. Innocence doesn't trend, but reputation bleeds quietly. That's the reality for so many in the industry. The moment a story hits, brands pull out, collaborations freeze, followers drop, and all that before anyone checks a single fact. Metro Boomin said it best after clearing his name. And I quote, "We gotta protect the truth before it's gone," end quote. Because these moments don't just hurt reputations, they shape how the next generation views their idols. And if you look close, you will see this pattern repeating, not just in hip-hop, but in the culture around it. The audience, the bloggers, even the fans, we all have become addicted to outrage. Every day it's a new gotcha headline, a new career over post. But who checks out when it turns out to be false? Almost no one. It's like social media turned justice into entertainment. But here is the twist. When the truth finally comes out, there is no audience left to hear it. For rappers like Takeoff, Jay-Z, and Metro Boomin, these false claims weren't just stories. They were battles. Battles against a system that rewards suspicion and punishes patience. They each pay the price, maybe not in prison, but in perception. Finally, I would like to end up by saying that every story has two sides. And in hip-hop, where image means everything, sometimes clearing your name becomes the hardest battle of all. When fame meets falsehood, truth doesn't travel fast. It struggles to catch up. And then there is Metro Boomin. He didn't rush to respond. He didn't jump online, he didn't feed into the gossip, he just went silent. And that silence said more than any tweet ever could. He waited for truth to speak, and when it finally did, the whole internet saw how easily lies can go viral without evidence. Metro turned that pain into power. He talked about the importance of protecting black men's names, how one baseless accusation can destroy everything they have worked for. Metro was cleared, but the lesson stuck. And then for Takeoff, the quietest Migo, the most private one, the one who never wanted the spotlight like that, the case went nowhere, dropped due to lack of evidence. But still, for weeks, he had to carry that weight, that question mark that should have never been there in the first place. Jay-Z, Metro, Takeoff, 3 names, 3 stories, different outcomes, but the same message. Fame is heavy. When you are at the top, your name isn't just yours anymore. It becomes public property. People borrow it, twist it, sell it, trend it, all before you even get a chance to speak. And that's the real price of being great in this era. Your story stops belonging to you the moment it becomes content. In the old days, an accusation had to make it to the newspapers before the world believed it. Now, it just takes one post, one screenshot, one viral clip, and before you can even defend yourself, you are trending. And not for your music, not for your art, but for something that might not even be true. So what's the lesson in all of this? That sometimes clearing your name isn't about proving you are right. It's about surviving long enough for the truth to matter. Jay-Z, Metro Boomin, and Takeoff all walked free, but they also showed the world how heavy fame really is, how fragile a legacy can be in the hands of rumors. Because when the spotlight turns cold and the headlines fade away, all that is left is the person behind the name. Every story has two sides, but only one ever makes the front page.